Welcome back to Splendid Tales, where the truth cuts through silence and arrogance meets its own destruction. If you love stories that expose injustice in its rawest form, hit that like button because this one will shake you. Afternoon light painted Graywood Academy gold, but inside room 203, it felt colder than a courtroom. Students sat stiffly, watching as Mr. Dalton strutted between desks like he owned oxygen. His voice carried that same smugness, the kind that made even the walls want to roll their eyes. When he reached Ariel Lewis, he stopped. Her test paper sat neatly on her desk, 100%, red ink perfect, brilliance undeniable. His smirk froze. You expect me to believe you wrote this? His tone sliced the air. The class went silent. A few students exchanged looks, some nervous, some entertained. Ariel's fingers tightened on the paper, her heart pounding again, but her voice stayed calm. I studied, sir. Dalton snorted. Sure you did. Maybe the internet helped you out. Laughter rippled, quiet but cruel. Ariel blinked back tears, but her eyes, those eyes, burned with something stronger than pain. The room wanted her to break. She refused. Mr. Dalton leaned closer, lowering his voice. Don't worry, you'll confess before this day is over. The bell rang. Students filed out, whispering. Ariel sat still, gripping her paper like it was her proof of existence. If you think things can't get worse, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Like and subscribe if you're feeling that fire for justice already. The Lewis house was usually filled with laughter, gospel tunes, and the smell of cinnamon pancakes. But that night, silence sat heavy on the dinner table. Ariel's fork hadn't moved since her father prayed. Her eyes were distant, replaying the moment Mr. Dalton waved her test like a trophy of his own prejudice. Her mother, Vivian, finally broke the silence. Baby, eat something. Ariel's lips trembled. He said I cheated, Mom. The whole class laughed. Her father, Marcus Lewis, looked up slowly, eyes cold as steel, a man of few words but dangerous calm. And what did you say? Ariel whispered. Nothing. If I spoke, they'd call me angry. Marcus leaned back, nodding. Good. You did right. Now let's make him angry. Vivian chuckled softly despite her pain. Marcus, don't go getting arrested for that fool, he smirked. Who said anything about fists? Some men fall harder when you hit their pride. Ariel looked up. The fire that humiliation planted had begun to burn. She wiped her eyes and whispered, I'll show him what a cheater can really do. Across town, Mr. Dalton sat in the teacher's lounge, laughing with a colleague. You should have seen her face. Thought she'd melt right there. He didn't notice his phone recording light blinking red. He didn't notice the student who'd overheard him and quietly uploaded the clip online. If you're still here, drop a like, because that laugh you just heard, it's about to echo back in ways he'll never forget. Graywood Academy's morning calm shattered like glass when Marcus Lewis stormed through the gates. No polite smiles, no calm composure. This was a father on a mission, and heaven itself wouldn't dare get in his way. Students froze mid-step as his footsteps echoed down the hall, each one louder than the last. He burst into the staff room so hard the door slammed against the wall. Which one of you thought humiliating my daughter was a lesson? His voice thundered, sharp enough to slice through the air. Teachers exchanged terrified glances. Mr. Dalton stood, trying to mask his fear behind a weak smirk. Mr. Lewis, he began, this isn't the place. Marcus cut him off. You're right. The place should have been a classroom where you were supposed to teach, not publicly lynch a child's confidence because your ego couldn't handle her intelligence. Dalton stammered. It was just a misunderstanding. Marcus grabbed the desk and sent Dalton's papers flying across the room. A misunderstanding? You called her a cheater in front of everyone. You made her cry, and now you think I'm here to talk? Phones were out, recording. The teachers stood frozen. Dalton backed up, pale, trembling. Marcus pointed straight at him. You're going to pay for every second she sat there in shame. You hear me? And as he stormed out, the students watching erupted, not in fear, but in applause. If you're feeling this fire for justice, hit like and subscribe because the reckoning is about to explode. 2 days later, the entire school gathered in the auditorium. Cameras from local news stations lined the walls, and social media buzzed like wildfire. Graywood Academy had never seen a crowd like this. At the front sat the Lewis family, Marcus unflinching, Vivian composed, and Ariel radiant in quiet power. Mr. Dalton walked on stage, face pale, hands trembling. Gone was the arrogance. The once proud teacher now looked like a man walking toward judgment. The principal's voice echoed through the hall. After reviewing the evidence, including multiple student recordings and staff testimonies, Graywood Academy has reached its decision. You could hear a pin drop. Dalton swallowed hard. Sweat dripped down his forehead. Mr. Dalton, the principal continued, your behavior toward Miss Lewis was discriminatory, unethical, and indefensible. Effective immediately, you are terminated. Your teaching license is suspended pending review. The crowd gasped. Then came applause. Loud, thunderous, unstoppable. Dalton stumbled off stage, eyes down. Marcus leaned forward just enough for him to hear. Next time you want to test someone's worth, start with your own. Ariel stood, the same test paper in her hand. This time, she wasn't trembling. She was glowing. The cameras caught her smile, the embodiment of grace reclaiming its power. If you believe no voice is too small to challenge injustice, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story because light always wins. So tell me, which character did you feel for the most?